friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do a check-in with my project Use It Up, and also this is going to be the last one obviously for this year. So what I'm going to do is start fresh in January with a new basket. Some of these things that I didn't finish will be carried over, but some will be put on the shelf for later in the year, and then there's going to be some other products brought in. But I'm going to be honest, I thought I would do so much better than what I did, but I feel like, number one, I feel like some of these fragrances are more like autumn fragrances, so I wasn't feeling them, like I just wasn't in the mood for them. And then the other thing is, some of them, like there's some things that I don't like about some of the fragrances, and I noticed, because I don't like certain things about certain products, I just wasn't using it. And it wasn't that I was using other products, because what I actually did is I actually took everything out of my beauty cabinet that's in my bathroom. So the only fragrances and lotions that I had to use were the ones in this basket. And I didn't want to use some of these to the point that like I just wasn't using anything. So that tells you, like, I was like, oh. So I definitely feel like I need to, like, in the next basket, maybe have more of a selection to kind of fit all my moods. But all of that being said, I did finish up a couple products, and I'll just go ahead and go through and we'll mark where I'm at now, and I'll talk about each product. Okay, so let's start here. This is the Bath & Body Works Pumpkin Pecan Waffles Fine Fragrance Mist. Now, when I started, I was there, and let's see, let me mark where it's at now. Okay, so it is, so started here, I'm down to here. Now, that is a fragrance that I feel like is definitely more autumn to me. And so here's the thing with this. Well, to kind of give you guys like a backstory, when I was younger, because I've always been obsessed with fragrance for as long as I can remember. When I was younger though, I always just wore whatever I felt like smelling like. So I never really matched my fragrance to the seasons. Like, I just had different fragrances that I liked, and I wore them whenever. Then I switched and I started wearing seasonal fragrances. And so whenever like Bath & Body Works would come out with like their seasonal fragrances, I would get a bunch of them, and that's what I would wear in the autumn. As I'm getting older, I feel like I'm maybe inching back towards where I was when I was younger, because I'm noticing that I am definitely more attracted to fruity and floral fragrances. And I do like some like woody type fragrances and stuff, but a lot of these like gourmand ones, especially when they have like the cinnamon and things in them, I just like, I'll spray them on and I like the smell, but it's not something that I want on my body. All of that to say, this fragrance, I really, really like this fragrance, but not on my body. I mean, I think I would even maybe use the shower gel, as long as the shower gel doesn't like stick to your skin and leave that fragrance. This is a fragrance though that I feel like would be amazing in a candle, or like a room spray. But once this is gone, I will not be repurchasing this in like a body product. Like, I would never use it as a lotion, and I don't want to use it as a mist, a body mist anymore. I will use this up. This is one of the ones though that's not going to be in the basket in January, because I do feel like it's definitely more like of an autumn type of a smell. But yeah, I just, and this is one of those fragrances too with Bath & Body Works. Some of their fragrances, you know, you spray on and it doesn't really last very long. This one seems like it lasts all day. So if you like to wear fragrances like this on you, this is definitely a good one. I mean, the staying power on this is, it is good. It's just, yeah, for me, I don't know. I felt like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, smelling it on me all day, I felt gross. Like I felt like I had been baking all day and then that scent was just like stuck in my clothes. And I don't know, I just wasn't feeling that. So there's that. Next up, actually, we'll go through this one. This is one that I actually did finish. And there was actually quite a bit of this, but there's a story as to why I finished this. The fragrance of this is okay. But I would never get this again. And this is the only Bodycology fragrance that I've ever tried. So maybe it's just this fragrance. You guys let me know if you've used other fragrances in the Bodycology. But this fragrance, it was so heavy, like of an alcohol smell, that it was almost too much. But what I did, because I really wanted this, like the dry down fragrance to last and to be able to smell it, because I would spray it on just normal, and by the time the alcohol smell like dissipated, I couldn't even hardly smell the fragrance. So I was like, this is crazy. So I did like the whole, like, you know, like the routine, you know, that everybody talks about, where you like oil down and then you put lotion on and then you put Vaseline on like your pulse points and then you spray the heck out of yourself with this. You guys, I would literally spray like my arm to the point where it was like dripping wet, dripping. And it still never smelled like much of anything to me. Like once that alcohol smell dissipated, which it was a crazy strong alcohol smell, you really couldn't smell the vanilla. So I was really confused by that. So like I said, I like drenched myself with this. So that's why I went through it so fast, because it was like, I would literally be dripping and I would just like walk around my bathroom, you know, like, and kind of let it dry before I would put my clothes on. And then I'd put my clothes on and I'd spray my clothes and all of that. And it's just never, it never stuck. So I did not care for this at all. Now, with that being said, like the body cream is decent. I can mark this. Let's see. So I started here and now I'm down to here. It's decent. It's not my favorite vanilla. There's different kinds of vanilla, you know, like different smells of vanilla. This one to me, it makes sense because it's whipped vanilla. It has like almost like that cream type of a smell to it. But the cream is almost to like a, you can almost smell like a little bit of like a milky sourness to it. And I'm not really a fan of that. As far as the actual lotion, I like the texture. I feel like it's somewhat moisturizing. I have dry skin, so I pretty much have to pair every lotion with an oil to feel like I'm truly, truly getting moisturized. But I felt like this was like a decent, you know, as far as if you didn't have dry skin, you could probably get away with just using this lotion and it would moisturize. I'm not a huge fan of the fragrance, like I said. And the lotion, again, too, like that fragrance does not last on your skin. You can at least the lotion doesn't have like the alcohol smell. So when you put it on initially, you can smell it. But then, you know, 5 minutes later, it's kind of gone. So I wouldn't buy this one again. But I'm just curious if all Bodycology products are that way. Or if maybe, you know, there's a floral one or a fruity one and maybe there is more staying power and it doesn't have like that super, super alcohol-y smell. So I'm willing to try another Bodycology, but if that one failed, I think I would just like the brand in general, I would probably be like not interested in. So we'll see. So there's that one. Next up, this is the Bath & Body Works Marshmallow Pumpkin Latte. Okay, so I started here. And I didn't, this is funny, you guys, like this one barely budged. Yeah. So I'm only down to there. Now, here's the funny thing with this one. Now this, you know, I was talking about the pumpkin pecan waffles and how I really didn't like that fragrance on me. This one, however, I love this fragrance. Love it. However, this is another one that has such a strong alcohol smell that it's almost unpleasant to put it on. And then once it dries down, it doesn't last very long. So unfortunately, I think moving forward, I probably would not get the fragrance mist of this. If they ever came out with like a marshmallow pumpkin latte perfume, you know how Bath & Body Works has like actual perfumes of some of the fragrances, I would be all over that. And I think like moving forward, you know, maybe next year, I would actually get the lotion or the cream in this just because I do love the fragrance so much. And, you know, if I got the lotion or the cream, obviously that isn't a super strong fragrance. So I would probably wear it like overnight, like just for bed or something. But it's such a good fragrance. I absolutely love that like marshmallowy. It's like a toasted marshmallow. So it's got like a tiny bit of like smokiness, but then the sweetness of the marshmallow. I just love it so, so much. But yeah, the formula of this just is so disappointing because again, it's so strong on the alcohol. So that's where that one is. Next up, this one's funny. Okay, let's mark this one. All right, so I started here, I'm now down to there. This is the sweet whiskey one. So this one I actually do like. It is, I feel like it definitely, it's not a floral or like a fruity, like what I just said, I'm like definitely more attracted to. It's more of like the woodsy type of a smell, but it definitely has like a smokiness to it. It's, let's see, it says golden amber, vanilla infused whiskey, and sweet red berries. I don't smell the sweet red berries at all in this. Definitely the amber, but then there's like a smoky woodiness to it. But okay, so this is so funny. Every single time I would wear this, like I would spray this in the bathroom, like my husband would come down the stairs or like he'd come home from work or whatever, and he would think that there's like something on fire in the house. Like something about this had like that smoky type of, like it, you know what I mean? It left a smell in the air that smelled like smoky. So he was constantly like, you know, is something on fire? Like what's burning? Like he's thinking there's like an electrical fire or something. And it was like, it was my perfume every time. So he finally just got to the point where he was just like, you're wearing it again, aren't you? So that was the only downside to this one. The other thing with this too is, again, it doesn't last super, super long. Now this one, I mean, there's definitely an alcohol smell, but it's not as intense as some of these other ones that I was talking about. But then, you know, this one too, it's one of those that you spray it on and like in an hour, you really can't smell it on your skin anymore. So you would have to reapply. But it is, I do like this one. This is another one that honestly, if they had like a perfume version of it, I probably would get it just because it is, it's nice for this time of year, like, you know, like winter, just because it is that woody smokiness. So there's that. Next up is the coconut candy apple. Let me mark that one. Okay, so I started here. I'm down to here now. This one is one of those ones that I would never get this again. Number one, I'm not a huge apple fragrance person. And then the other thing is with this one that I was like sick of it is because I think of apple as more of a, like an autumn fragrance. So I think I was kind of sick of it. Surprisingly though, I made this much like progress on it because I love that coconut. Oh, do I love coconut. And again, see, I normally would not let myself wear coconut this time of year because coconut, you know, seasonally would be more of like a summer fragrance. But I love coconut so much. And I think maybe I should just start wearing coconut year round if I feel like it. Because I just love it so, so much. And that's what I liked about this is that like you could pick up that coconut smell. So I kind of would have to ignore the apple scent and just focus on that coconut. And that's what made me want to wear this. So, okay, this one I actually finished. This is the Gail Heyman Delicious Warm Mixed Berry. Started here and it is gone. So it wasn't like a ton in here. This is nice. I really liked this. What I would do with this is I would pair it with this, the Hempz, which we'll talk about that. This was completely full. Let me mark it. It is now down to here. So we're down to here. This is the Blushing Grapefruit and Raspberry Cream. So I would use this and then I would put this with it. So this, let's talk about this first. This is like a berries and cream scent. You pick up the berry and then like a vanilla type fragrance in it. And I actually really, really like this. I would pick this one up in the full size. Now, this is another one that it's not super alcohol-y when you spray it. It dries down pretty quickly. The lasting power on this, I would say, is like about average. So you could spray this on and, you know, would need to refresh it after like 2 to 3 hours, which honestly is what you kind of expect from, you know, most fragrance mists. So that wasn't like super disappointing to me. And honestly, there's a part of me that almost likes that. I mean, not if I'm paying big bucks for a perfume, like then it better last. But like when it's a cheaper fragrance like this, it's almost nice. Like, you know, you go to the bathroom and, you know, like you refresh, reapply your lip gloss, put on some more perfume, and it just kind of almost like gives you like a pick-me-up. So I don't mind having to reapply every 2 to 3 hours. It's really not like a big deal to me. But yeah, this was definitely very, very nice, and I would repurchase that. It is empty. Now the Hempz Blushing Grapefruit and Raspberry Cream. This smells really, really good. I have noticed with the Hempz lotions, however, they're just not heavy enough for me. So I always have to pair these with an oil. So what I was doing is I would put like sweet almond oil, like I would put that on right after I got out of the bathtub or out of the shower while my skin was still moist. I would put that on, then I would layer this on top of it, and then I would put my perfume on, obviously. So I like this fragrance, but because this, I do have to always put it with an oil. I feel like as far as like a berry type of a scent, which is what this is, I feel like I probably could find one that I like better. So once this one is gone, I probably will not repurchase. And then this next one, this is another Hempz lotion. This is the Milk and Honey. Let me mark it. This one is almost gone. It's not quite, like literally one more use. I probably won't even get a full use out of this. I started here and now I am down to here. Like I said, this is the Milk and Honey. Again, it's not heavy enough for me to use this just as my only moisturizer. And then the thing with this one is it's the Milk and Honey smell, but it almost has like a bakery or like a baked good, because you almost smell like a buttery smell to this. And that throws me off. I would like that in a candle or like a wax melt or a room spray or even a shower gel. Again, because I feel like shower gels, you can get away with that because they don't really linger on your skin usually. But to wear this and have to smell it like all through the day, it's just too much for me. So wouldn't be repurchasing that one. And then the very last one that we have is the CeraVe Moisturizing Cream. Just let me mark that. So I made some progress on there, but not like a ton. I started here and now I'm down to there. So I still have, you know, enough in there. I think with this one, the reason I didn't make a ton of progress is because a little goes a long way with this one. And this one I'm just trying to use up. I know for a fact I'm not going to be like repurchasing this one or anything. I had originally gotten this to try it on my skin, like on my face, and just wasn't a fan of it. But as far as like fragrance-free lotions or unscented lotions, there's other ones that I like better for my body. So this I'm just kind of trying to finish up. But yeah, that is the progress on that one. So that is it, you guys. That's all of the products that I was working on. Like I said, I finished up 2, right? Is that? Yeah, I finished up 2, made some decent progress on some of the others. If you guys decide to watch the Project Use It Up that starts in January, you may see some of these projects or these products back in it, along with a bunch of other new ones. So I'm super excited to start kind of going through and finding some things to throw in my basket. But let me know in the comments down below if you've tried any of these products and what your opinion was on them. Also, let me know if you are doing a project Use It Up, because I know a lot of you commented in the last video saying that you really needed to do this and that you were planning to do it. If you're doing it, let me know what products you have in your project, because I would love to hear what you guys are using up. Anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with me for a little bit, and I will see you next time.